We're all excellent storytellers. So we want to start off with a story, and what I need from you to start that story is the title of a story that has never been told, written, published, made into a movie, whatever. So
Night of the Living Bread.
Night of the Living Bread. What kind of story, what genre of story was that?
Crime documentary. Crime documentary.
Crime documentary. I'm down here with Butler up there. Documentary. Okay, so Night of the Living Bread, the crime documentary. Crime documentary poses!
It's documentary, what do you want?
It's not terribly exciting.
Pittsburgh, 20 years ago. A young college student with many friends had left her party with her many friends. But then her many friends left her at her car alone. She would never be heard from again.
There are very few clues as to what happened to this young girl. A stale piece of crust, some crumbs, and the blood-curdling smell of stale yeast.
The mystery lingers on in the minds and hearts of Pittsburghians, even 40 years now.
Yes.
40 years now later. Still, the city searches and hopes that a killer can be brought to justice.
Some folks have said, well, maybe she shouldn't have parked in front of a bakery. But it was the closest free parking space to the party.
Marcus was the first one assigned to the case 40 years later. He went looking through... He went looking through her case file and noticed her ID. Her name was Susan.
And that's really all it said about her.
Susan, the dead girl with crumbs in her hair.
He started thinking that maybe there was clues to be found at the scene of the crime.
Perhaps the bird hadn't gotten to all the crumbs.
When he was down on his knees in the parking lot, he happened to notice something shiny.
It was a dime. 40-year-old dime. Still shiny. He picked it up, put it in his pocket.
It wasn't a clue, but he doesn't get
That many breaks.
to get a dime.
He couldn't really use it to call anybody.
But 40 years ago, he could have.
But inflation is not the criminal here. The only woman still working at the bakery who remembered Susan 40 years ago was Barbara, the night cook.
Barbara said she hadn't seen much that night.
Since she was out with the State Puft Marshmallow Man.
Her steady boyfriend at the time and for the next 15 years.
Her attitude was kind of angry.
I can't believe this crime hasn't been solved after 40 years, she said raspily.
Due to the excessive smoke in her workplace.
I'm just disgusted. And what happened to my
Voice! Much better.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that night.
But I think you could go ahead and ask our cameraman who lives in the woods. It's a good clue.
They're coming to get you, Barbara, said the cameraman.
I don't care!
Said
Barbara?
I admit it. I'm the one who killed her 40 years ago today.
Dun, dun, dun.
But she deserved it. She never let me go outside. She said that the party was not meant for me.
And I'd do it again.
Laura is now a bitter old woman serving time in the Pittsburgh City Penitentiary. Holding cell.
Living in a diet of water and herself.
Your players once again for the evening have been the green Matthew Krevat, the slightly blue Wade Newhouse, the brown Brian Piper, the inebriated John Vettel, the lovely Romni Rossi.